Hi, everybody. Welcome to Turnabout podcast. I'm your host, Lucy.
And I'm Perry the Platypus.
Yes, we have a very special guest. Next week, we'll have Dr.
Doofenshmirk.
Dusen. What's his name?
Doofenshmirk, operated.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
So welcome to Turnabout podcast. This episode will be centered around Justice for All.
Spoiler
the second
alert.
game. Spoiler alert. We will be discussing stuff. Spoiler alert. Yes. So we'll be talking about the second game of the franchise. But before that, before we jump into the topic of the episode, we do, as you all know it, our weekly artist shout-out. And this week, it's a very exciting artist. Her name is wumbsie. On Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr.
Wumbsie?
But yeah, isn't that how you pronounce
As
it?
in
Wumbsie.
womb?
How am I supposed to say that?
Wumbsie.
Womb? I don't know. Wumbsie. Wumbsie?
This week's featured artist is Mill.
It's Mill.
Mill.
Way to settle a debate.
Yes.
That's how you should always do it.
Always.
Yeah. So they have amazing art. We're gonna put it on screen, and they draw. I think it's mainly first trilogy and a bit of Trucy.
Yeah. Trucy.
I think that's quite. Yeah, there's some Trucy in it.
The one that really caught my eye from the second trilogy is, and it's also one of my favorites, is Apollo as a magician.
Oh yeah, that's true.
As in the grammary uniform.
That would have been so cool. We really were robbed.
We were robbed. And also, second week in a row, we featured someone who draws Apollo with earrings.
Yes.
Iconic.
Does that make you, again, change your sexual attraction to Apollo?
It's not as hot as last week, but I will say
that smirk.
Mill does a great job drawing earrings on Apollo and making him look good.
Definitely.
But with that out of the way, all of her work is the cutest.
It really, her art is so cute and so good. What's your favorite thing out of all the things we discussed?
It's either Apollo in the troop grammary uniform.
Yes.
Or, I mean, I love her Phoenix Edgeworth stuff, Narumitsu, but it's mainly the meme of Maya saying it's Monday, or as I like to call it, Tuesday. And just thinking that the original meme was Asuka from Evangelion.
I know.
Mill has taste, okay?
I know,
Ace
she
Attorney,
really does.
Evangelion, and Beastars. She did Beastars, which I know you don't know what it is.
I have no idea. Oh, we called and you were like, she did Beastar, and I was like, what? I have no idea what it is.
We'll talk about it after the call. But yeah, Mill has taste.
I know, she really does. And also something that I love about the Tuesday meme, if you look in the background, the plant is on the ground, which means that this image occurs during Mia's murder.
Yeah, and
I found that so funny. The chaotic vibes that exude from this image is so funny. Also, her phoenix with a paintbrush. Can we discuss it?
Oh, artistic phoenix.
It was so cute. And the colors are great. I love it.
Yeah.
It's really, really cute.
He's very cute. The smirk.
She also draws a lot of Edgeworth and Maya, which we don't see a lot of.
And
And I think her Twitter bio is Yeah, it's Miles and Maya should be friends, I think. And I think like that's a really interesting thoughts, and like we do kind of miss a lot of interaction between the two of them.
Even
I love when artists do this, kind of give us those moments and those relationships which we don't really think of.
even us, which we have, like, we've discussed a lot of unconventional relationships. We don't
Yeah.
necessarily think of this a lot. At least I'm talking about
Yeah,
myself. I don't.
definitely.
And I'm playing. I'm proud to announce the way you did when you announced that you were revisiting investigations. I'm proud to announce that
Yes.
I finally forced myself to continue playing
Yeah.
the trilogy, my second playthrough. I left the first game off in Rise of the Ashes, and then the second game, I was like, I had enough after Adrian Andrews' testimonies and just forcing her with unnecessary guilt over her attempted suicide. But I'm continuing Farewell My Turnabout now. And it's interesting that it doesn't necessarily make sense. Like, Edgeworth is so keen and like he takes on the whole investigation. He's like, I've pulled all the stops and Gumshoe, please run, save Maya. And he's like, you can actually sense like, okay, he's doing the best he can to save Maya. And then in the
Yeah.
courtroom, when Phoenix is trying to buy time, Ashworth is shutting him down completely. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't really make sense. Like,
If Edgeworth is in the
kind of
know,
reminds me of Justin Courtney and how she like
yeah,
you can tell that this is the killer and you're still like, no, the goddess of the law is every. I think they have this gimmicks to continue like the game, like
yeah.
to keep the player interested and have to like make the story unfold, but sometimes it doesn't really work
Because
well.
I was like, if Edgeworth is in the know, if like he's in the loop and he's even helping out,
Yeah,
then why the hell is he trying to not buy them time
I know.
by trying to get the guilty verdict as fast as possible? But yeah, I don't want to take the focus off Mill's
Mill.
work, which I always do every single week.
Last week it was the Scooby-Doo discussion
Scooby-Doo
discourse.
discourse.
But yeah, her art is really
When I was
good.
looking through the work, what really stuck out is that some artists, most artists actually, I don't want to take away anything from anyone, but
Yeah.
when they draw their favorite characters, and it's fine, like it's cool. But what I really noticed and it's actually noticeable about Mill's work, is that she actually is as big a fan as the like a mega fan, like the way we are. Because you notice the details. For example, the one where Maya is sitting on
the table.
Yeah, and
that might be my
the
favorite.
thinker is next to her, and
I
the
know.
glass shards and the receipt and
Yeah.
it's the evidence
All
from
of the
Turnabout
details.
Sisters.
Sisters.
From Turnabout Sisters.
It's such a striking image, and we've talked about this a couple of times when discussing artists. Um, I think it's amazing in fan arts where you can really feel the emotion through something, and we definitely get that in this one. It's like there's the blood of her sister freshly next to her, and I never thought about that moment of like Maya next to those things. It's so good.
It's really
It's so
good.
good. Yeah. But yeah, I really also like the of course the Trucy, Edgeworth, and Phoenix one is adorable. Just the colors, the art is great, but I also love the Phoenix and Trucy one called Papa. It's so cute. So cute.
I thought you'd hate it.
The Papa outfit?
Both the Papa outfit and the fact that it says Papa. It's the Papa hat.
The Papa hat. I do not like the Papa outfit. And Trucy never calls him Papa, which is what I call my dad. So why have the... Yeah.
Okay.
So why have the Papa hat? However, we've also talked this. I'm not a huge fan of the Phoenix-Trucy relationship because I feel like in Apollo Justice is kind of like, oh, she's my daughter, yeah, and we don't see a lot of interaction between them. And it was kind of always, there's something that always bugged me. Through this thing of shouting out artists and having to discuss their work, I'm actually quite on board now because we've seen so many art that kind of like creates this whole dynamic between the two of them, and I love this one. Like the way she latches onto him, it's so cute. I really like it. And I just wish she called him Papa. There are some English people who call like that's Papa, right? I think I saw that in Star Wars. Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't like the Papa outfit in the game. I have still nightmare about that one animation where Phoenix has two different sized eyes.
Okay, shut up. That's not Mill's work. That's not Mill's work's fault.
Oh, so when you go on a tangent about Scooby-Doo, I don't say anything. You're always saying, Jeffrey, come here with the receipts.
And we have to be ready to forgive.
That's not who I am.
I am the opposite of that.
So yeah,
Mill is gonna be listening
Mill's
to this, and she's gonna be so fucking confused.
I'm so sorry, Mill.
If you get to this part, that is.
Yeah. Just for our listeners, I had the pleasure of talking to Mills. She's so nice. She's the sweetest, and she's so nice and adorable. So please go follow her on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. We'll link that below because she does amazing stuff and she's the sweetest and we love her art and we love you.
Yeah, we do. Thank you for agreeing to showcase your work on our podcast.
Yes, thank you for giving us permission.
Yeah. So without further ado,
yes.
Let's talk about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Justice for Fucking All.
Justice for All.
Pretty sure that was the fucking title.
It was.
Great. So, since I know you have 12 questions, and this time we didn't share anything beforehand.
Yes, and just for the people who might be new, we're going to do kind of interview-style discussion. We're going to ask each other a question about this game.
Okay, so since you have 12 questions, I know you have 12 questions, I don't know what they are, and since I have 10, do you want to go first?
Sure. My first question is what is your favorite new recurring element of the game? This includes character like Pearls, Francisca, Morgan Fay, Maggie Birds, and other elements of the game like the Megatama.
Maggie Bird?
Maggie Bird is introduced in that game, and she's a recurring character.
Oh, you mean in the entire series?
Yeah.
So it's either those characters of the Megatama?
Like, you pick one. Like, what was your favorite thing that was introduced in that game and that, like, later appeared in the series?
Francisca, of course.
Francisca?
Okay. She's the best.
She's the best, but she's not the best.
I hate you. But I love her. And I think that sums up my reason.
I mean, that's a good reason.
I like, hello.
If you had to get married to her, would you?
I would.
Okay. Interesting.
How about you?
It's between Francisca and the Megatama, because I think the Megatama is a great new feature of the game. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Francisca because she's just like, she has a whip and blue hair.
It's just that...
So she wins.
I love the Megatama as well, but I think it's exploited in a way afterwards. Whereas Francisca, we see her in only 2 trials.
Yeah.
And then
the impact that this woman had
yeah
on the whole franchise. Yeah, I know.
She shows up briefly in Farewell. And then she's in the final case of Trials and Tribulations and the 2 Investigations games, and that's it. And because they use her sparingly, she's all the better. But the Megatama, I feel like they use it when they don't really know. Like, it started off being an excellent game mechanic, and then I think they took advantage of that and used it to push forward the narrative sometimes when it didn't.
I can understand that.
Like, for example, time traveling Phoenix in Apollo Justice using the Megatama as the only mechanic in that Turnabout Succession, and also it running out of juice / battery in Turnabout Aquatic.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which didn't even make sense. And then introducing the pink / red Megatama in Spirit of Justice, which was a severing thing.
Yeah.
That didn't make sense. So I think I'm a bit fed up with the Megatama. It's not that it's not its fault.
You've seen enough.
Yeah, it's not its fault. It's the writer's fault, but still.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I understand that. I respect that.
My first question is... My questions are amazing. Okay?
Okay.
Let me just put that out there, as usual. So, my first question is, do you consider Kurain Village to be a feminist moment such as Gerudo Town from Breath of the Wild, because it's an all-female civilization? Or is it swept under the rug and forgotten? And how do you imagine Maya's dad to be?
Okay, very interesting question. I imagine Maya's... I don't even imagine him. I don't really think of him a lot. I think I know everything that I need to know when I learn that he left.
He's irrelevant
for me. We've discussed this before. I never thought about him longer than 3 seconds, and I think he's a coward. I think I don't think parents who leave their children are good people. And for your other questions, I do think it's very similar to Gerudo. Is it a village?
It's a town.
It's a town. And that's actually my favorite town out of all of Breath of the Wild. It's so good. I do think it's very similar in kind of like a matriarchal society. But I don't know how to explain this. I think it's empowering, but I wouldn't say it's like feminist as in, for me, it's just like normal. You know what I mean? I'm having trouble explaining myself. It's just like
explain it the way you want, and then I'll try to piece it together.
Basically. Because it's just the way they live their lives. There's no act of rebellion or having to stand up for yourself.
Okay, I got what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, for me, feminist has a political message to it.
It's not really feminist because the men were cowards by default.
Exactly.
So they didn't act
for me, it's
up or
more
something.
empowering for women, but not necessarily feminist. Like it's a tiny distinction.
Because I was about to say I kind of agree, because the power they inherit was inherent. It was innate. But then again, they do channel and learn it.
Yeah.
So,
and they do have to train really hard.
Yes, that's the only feminist aspect to it. And I think it was kind of bold for them to make it a female only civilization in 2002 or 3 when the game came out. But at the same time, they don't really take advantage of that. And there's a bunch of misogynistic or anti-feminist moments in that game. But with Korean Village specifically, I feel like it has feminist potential, but it's not really explored. Because I kind of agree with your point to the extent that there's not really a political agenda. But the fact that then the women had to fend for themselves and they train, like, it's kind of a feminist moment.
Yeah.
Because they can do it on their own without any male support. Which kind of begs the question. For sure,
like it's definitely empowering for women.
Which kind of begs the question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It kind of begs the question. What the hell was Archie Buff doing in Korean?
He was an archaeologist, wasn't he?
He moved there, I think. But again,
yeah.
And on the question of Maya's dad, I do agree that he is a coward. But if I have to give my 2 cents about him, the way I see it is, in my mind, I associate it with so in Gilmore Girls, Rory has a best friend. Rory is a protagonist. Rory has a best friend called Lane Kim. She's Korean. And her dad is always mentioned, but he's never shown.
Yeah.
And it kind of reminded me of him. Because it doesn't mean he's kind of absent. Like, her mom is a super strict Korean lady who is super Catholic, and Lane has to hide her CDs under her floorboards. And her, that's it's indicative of how strict her mom is and all that shit. So her dad is kind of out of the picture, but he's still there. And it, in my head, Maya's dad would probably be like Maya. Hangry all the time, really bubbly, because Mia really, really reflects Elise / Misty. So I think that Maya would take after her dad, because Mia and Maya are complete opposites.
Definitely. Mia is so collected and calm and wise and intellectual, and Maya's bubbly and fun.
So yeah, long question and long answer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say something. Wait. I'm trying to remember.
What?
I know what I was gonna say. I think also Maya never talks about her dad.
Yeah.
Which I think is why we never really think about him. She doesn't seem, you mentioned in Gilmore Girls, that girls always mentions her dad. Maya never does that. Which, well, I think she's moved on. He's not here.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Very sad. Okay.
Perfect.
My question is, out of all these characters from Justice for All, Justice for All, who should go to therapy the most?
The bellboy.
It's not from Justice for All. Of course, the bellboy is the correct answer, but we're talking about justice for all.
God damn it.
We've already established that the bellboy has unspeakable content on his laptop and should go to therapy/jail.
I showed you the picture I uploaded on Tumblr.
Yeah.
Right?
You did. We will put that on the screen right now.
I love him. Someone from Justice for All that would go to therapy. Dead or alive?
All?
Huh. Because if it's dead, then Celeste impacts.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And also Eeny Meeny, the original Eeny Meeny.
Yeah, she was under loads of stress.
But if we're talking about alive people, it would probably have to be either Acro or Matt and Guard. Like Matt and Guard would start off as therapy, and then it would go to a psychiatrist, and then he would go to the insane asylum.
Yeah. Mattengard has issues. That's how we would say it respectfully. And he should be put in a special place.
Like, he's pure evil. I don't know if that can be treated.
Yeah, I think it's just like, I mean, that's a whole debate. Can pure evilness be like treated with therapy?
No.
I don't know the answer to that question.
This is not the
philosophy podcast.
This is not the philosophy podcast. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I do agree with your answer.
But
I think
yes, that's what I was about to say. If you want to kill a teenager,
yeah, like, sir, just take one good look at yourself.
Yeah, you should probably go to therapy.
Yeah.
Like, some self-evaluation is in order.
Exactly.
What do you...
But I think
what do you think?
When I wrote down this question, I was like, my first thought was Francisca. Because daddy issues.
Okay.
In a way, she needs to... But I think, in a way, Francisca dealt with those issues without therapy and growth throughout the games. And I think she, frees herself from her past and her dad's past. So I don't think she would need it that much. I think she's done a lot of growth. And then I thought about Acro. Because,
Because he's a maniac. And he is unhinged.
Unhinged, yes.
Gina, you are unhinged. I'm unhinged, darling. So, my next question is... In the anime, Laura is replaced with Larry in Farewell My Turnabout.
Okay.
Which version do you prefer?
I have a very similar question.
What?
Really? I know, which is insane because it's such a specific question.
It's insane.
Yes.
What's your question?
My question was Larry is missing from that game. Where would you put him? I think I like Loda Heart better.
Same.
I think I like the version with Loda Heart.
I kind of hated that they changed it. Because
Loda, we all love Loda.
Larry is more main character than Loda is, but don't take away from her,
And he has tons of moments where he's gonna appear again.
Yeah, even in investigations. The Inherited Turnabout, that was pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
Loda kind of stole the spotlight in investigations too from Larry.
She was really good.
She was really good in the last and penultimate cases. I really liked her. But to answer your question...
Yeah.
here's what I think. I think Triloquist is such a throwaway character. Like, he just takes a stand once. And I think if Larry was working at the circus, that would make more sense. And he could still play around with a puppet.
Oh, you would make Larry?
I would make Larry
the ventriloquist?
a ventriloquist, yeah.
Okay, that's a very interesting answer.
That makes sense in my head.
Mm.
What about you?
The thing is, so I don't think you should go in the second one because the Korean is such a matriarchy that like I love him, but Larry with all his innuendos and like constant flirting. I don't know.
The way you said it now kind of reminds me like how. Actually, here's what I never thought and kind of thought of now. Larry is kind of like Johnny Bravo.
Kinda.
Like,
Kinda.
imagine,
Very
like,
similar vibes.
Morgan Fay being like, I am the revered head of this house, and please, Mr. Phoenix Wright, don't enter the channeling chamber. And Larry shows up and being like, you're such a MILF. Like...
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You've summed up my issue with Larry and Crane. I think that's exactly what he'd do. From the way he talked to Justin.
Oh my god.
We know he might do that, so I don't think that's a good idea to take him to like this super sacred place.
The art from Inherited.
Cursed.
Cursed. Unhinged. Unhinged.
So I didn't want him in Crane.
Of course not.
And the last case is the last case is very chaotic, but I still don't think he would have fit it. I think I agreed that he would be good in the
Big Top.
Turnabout Big Top. But I think he would be into Regina.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately. And I think he'd be like a massive fan of her and kind of camp outside and gets into trouble. But I do like the idea of him working there.
It does make sense. He always has this crazy
It
gigs.
does make sense. He's always unemployed.
Like,
no offense to you.
Like, the fact that he's always into women and always takes away from their, like, femininity is Johnny Bravo. But the way he has this tendency of getting mixed up and getting so many gigs is completely Team Rocket behavior.
Team Rocket behavior. I mean, is there a better behavior than Team Rocket? Like, isn't everyone striving to be like Team Rocket?
Yes.
That's my question.
Icons of the working class.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
So, should I go next since we answered yours?
Yes. Absolutely.
I said, do you think Francisca was flirting with Adrian Andrews when they were talking in Matt and Guard's room?
Yes.
Same.
Yes. Very short answer.
That's it. They were.
They were. They are an item. They definitely hooked up.
I wouldn't go so far.
Did.
I think Adrian Andrews was still recovering from Celeste's death.
Later.
Oh, later?
Yeah.
Maybe like in...
Oh, I didn't think in the room.
No,
I think later
I was talking about in Matt and Guard's room.
Oh, no. I think they hooked up later.
Okay.
In the timeline.
That was brief.
A very good question, but with a very brief answer.
Thank you. What's the next question?
My next question is, who would fit nicely in each of the 3 cases? And by 3 cases, I'm not talking about the first case because who cares?
Like from the entire series?
From the entire series, yeah. Like who would be a good mix?
Like an addition or a replacement?
Yes. An addition.
Oh, this needs thought. Do you have your answers?
I have my answer for some of them. I was thinking for the last Turnabout. The
What?
bellboy?
She's
For the fourth case, it's in the hotel.
She spoke his name and my heart skipped a beat.
I think, unfortunately, the bellboy would fit.
Okay, please, let's take this opportunity as an interlude.
Yes.
How great a couple would me and the bellboy be?
You really want to be in a relationship with him?
Like,
I think if you were willing to date him.
Two freaks, unhinged, with a horrible taste.
Two freaks?
Yes, me and the bellboy.
We've established in the last episode that the bellboy is a furry. Are you trying to tell me something, Aris?
I mean, we both have our kinks. I'm not a fairy, but we might find something in common.
Including paws? Okay. Well, good for you. If you want to have sex with the bellboy, why not? But I think it would lead to me having to stage an intervention eventually.
I sense a bleeping moment coming.
No.
And I'm going to do absolutely nothing in my power to stop it and prevent it.
Okay. Good. Perfect.
So the bellboy is your choice for farewell.
Yeah.
And what about the others?
That was me whistling.
Perfect.
If you haven't heard. I wrote this question and I didn't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking Larry for the third case. Like, we could be a nice addition. And for Coraine, I definitely think it should be a woman. Oh, I had an answer for this one. Who isn't a woman? I had thought, was it for Coraine? Do you know that weird reporter from Upload Justice?
Spark Brucial or something.
Yes. Spark Brucial. For some reason, I thought an interaction between him and Loda Hart, like two journalists on the case, could be fun. And so that was my pick.
I hate you.
I strongly associate him with furries for some reason. In my head, he's a confirmed
Didn't
furry.
you tell me you found a post one time or a video?
Yeah, a long time ago that portrayed him as a furry. Did I tell you the content of the video?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now in my head, he's like a furry. And I keep saying, oh, you're the furry guy. And then I have to remember he's actually not a furry. So this is a complicated situation.
Your answers are Larry, who is
furry.
Unhinged.
Yes.
And a
oh my god,
pervert.
I've only picked unhinged men.
Yes, you only picked unhinged perverts, and two of them happen to be fairies.
Yes, but I would like to point out that I did not pick Desiree or D. Vasquez, and I always pick those for those kind of questions. So
funny you should say that, because I wanted to say D. Vasquez for farewell my turnabout.
Ooh, interesting. Tell me, because she's like a producer.
Yeah, because she was a producer, and she could give us some scoop on Guard.
Yeah.
On Matt and Guard.
Definitely. She would be very valuable
in the detention center. She could be like, why should I help you?
Oh, it would have been so good. That's a really good point. Return. That's a really good point, Diane. Thank you for bringing that up.
And for Big Top, maybe...
Now, from the top...
From the big top, make it pop.
That's
bellboy. That's some bellboy.
That's some wet ass bellboy.
That's some whack ass bellboy.
That's some whack ass bellboy.
From famous recording artist Cardi B featuring Megan Thee Stallion. Whack-ass bellboy. For Turnabout Big Top, I would have to say either Sasha Buckler.
Ooh, she would be fun.
As a female acrobat. And that, if it wasn't Sasha Buckler, just here's another side idea. Have a female acrobat be who's engaged with Jeffree Star, so it's not underage romance. Like have a female.
Oh yeah.
Have a female.
Good idea.
Yeah.
The fact that they were engaged didn't add anything to the story.
Absolutely nothing.
Stop putting underage relationship in your games.
Like,
especially with Jeffree Star.
If Jeffree Star was engaged to a female acrobat in her 20s, Regina could be jealous. And Pearl could try to ship them. And that would be it.
I know.
But yeah.
But instead we had an underage romance.
So Sasha Buckler for Big Top or Phineas Filch. So I could set fire to that circus.
Okay, perfect.
And
your hatred for Phineas Filch grows stronger every day.
And for the first case, just a strong woman. Oh, maybe
Desiree?
Misty Faye.
Oh yeah.
It's her home
that
after all.
That would have been a good one. Yeah.
So yeah.
Please. I was also thinking like Rafa. But, kind of the same vibes.
Yeah. Perfect. So my next question is, do you feel like Farewell My Turnabout is dragged out? And is it able to withstand the test of time? Because, and I'm specifically asking this because I'm playing it now.
I think it's extremely long. And I do think it's dragged out.
Perfect.
I think the final case of the first game was also extremely long because it had such a complicated story that I don't think it was dragged out.
Same. And same for Bridge.
And I think, and I think for this one, they were like, oh, we need to have a memorable final case. So they make it longer than it ought to be.
Here's the thing. I'm playing it now and you're right. It doesn't succeed where Bridge and Goodbye succeed. And even to a certain extent, Rise from the Ashes.
Yeah.
Like Rise from the Ashes and Bridge and Goodbye. They all insert new twists at the end. And the story continues, and through flashbacks and interesting investigations and new locations, you're like kind of it keeps it refreshing.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm playing it now and I'm at the part where Gumshoe says like he's chasing Shelly the Killer and Maya, who's being kept hostage, and he's like, we barely missed him, sir, on the phone. Why? It's a really nice setup. There's an abduction. There is, of course, something...
And the story is great. The Your client being the culprit,
But nothing new is given in the final 3 court proceedings.
I agree.
Like, there's no new backstory. You know everything by the time you head in. It's just a matter of whether or not Maya will be saved. So, like, when you give it your all and reveal the entire plot through the investigations and the first court proceedings, what am I doing? And it feels dragged out. It feels really dragged out. Like, it could have been just 2 court proceedings or 1.
Definitely. I think 2 court proceedings would have done the job perfectly. You learn that Madame Guard is the culprit. He scratches his face, and then you expose him in the next trial.
And is it able to withstand the test of time? What do you think?
I think so, because even though I agree with what we said, I think with time, the dragging out fades away and the story remains. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a great story, and that's kind of like what I like remember from it. Like, now that we've talked about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it was a really long case, but I forgot about it. And in my head, it's just like, oh, this amazing case with this like story, and Maya's kidnapped. It has great ideas, and that's, I think, what lingers on.
I don't really agree.
Really, tell me.
Like, I know it's because we're playing it in our 20s. I'm playing it in my 20s. But using suicide as a piece of evidence feels really outdated, and it feels like it came from an era where it was more taboo, and people didn't really know how to handle it, and they just, because it wasn't so in the surface and out there. Whereas now, like, if someone's struggling, of course it's hard, but there's hotlines available, and it's a common phenomenon, and people are discussing it. Like, this is an open discussion.
I feel like it's less of a taboo now. Like, people are talking about it more freely.
So it felt really cringe. Forcing a woman, like coercing her and blackmailing her that we're gonna expose her attempted suicide as evidence.
That is really true. And once again, I haven't played that case in about 10 years.
Oh my god.
But when you told me about this, I was like, what? Like, they manipulate Andrews using her suicide attempt? It's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
So you think that it's like it's leaving a bad taste in your mouth?
It kind of like picks up because of the second part, which is again dragged out, but it's fine. Like, if you really like the game, then it kind of picks up afterwards. But it's really hard to like. It's a really hard pill to swallow.
Definitely. But like, when you played it for the first time, did it have the same impact on you, that kind of plot point?
No.
No?
Because when I played it for the first time, I didn't know if she'd get justice. Like, I was waiting on her to come off on top at the end, and it ends up with her actually getting arrested.
Yeah.
Like,
this is so fucking fucked up.
And then she's out of jail in a couple of months for the stolen turnabout. Kind of like a waste of a returning character, if you ask me.
Yeah. At least invite us to her wedding with Francisca.
Yes. Like, she's not memorable.
Give her an happy ending.
She's not memorable in Stolen.
Well, she breaks a vase. An urn.
And she also wears black now, which is...
Yeah. And has her hair up.
Yes. Perfect.
Great. That's all you need to know for redemption.
Yes.
Okay. My next question is, why do you consider it the weak one of the first trilogy? And what would you change?
Oh.
Because we've already discussed this. It's both of our least favorite out of the first trilogy.
I have a similar question.
Which doesn't mean it's a bad game.
I have a similar question, which opens kind of the same.
Okay.
No, of course it doesn't mean it's a bad game. But if I had to pinpoint the reasons why it's not up there with the first and third game, is that Big Top, I might not hate it as much as some other cases, such as Storyteller, Monstrous, Stolen, but it's still a pain in the ass. Especially Mo. And then it kind of like ends quickly. It's just 4 cases, and the Kurain one wraps up really easily and fast.
Yeah. We don't even cross-examine Morgan Fay.
We don't cross-examine Morgan Fay.
Mm.
And I think the combination of weak cases and also it being a short game, I think it weakens it to the point where it's like it's obvious that it's not as good as the other 2 from the trilogy. How about you?
I agree. I think for me, when I thought about it, it's like, oh, why do I consider it this kind of low status? Is the cases are really weak. Like the first one is one of my least favorite introduction case.
Forgettable.
Like it's so forgettable. I do like the Kurain case, but it's like kind of meh.
Yeah.
You know, it's like okay. And
it's mediocre.
Big Top, it's like they're all weak. The last case has some great ideas, but it's so long and dragged out that it takes off some of the enjoyment you have from it. And so you're kind of left with this good character and good idea game, but not that fun. Like, and when I was thinking, what would I change it? I think maybe one case more, like a third case in the middle.
That's what I was about to say.
A really fun one, like Recipe or Turnabout Aquatic, like something really fun because it is a game. You need to enjoy yourself.
If I had to change something, I would either introduce a case, which would be fun to play, or shorten Farewell.
Yeah,
like
I agree with both of these.
Make it shorter. That would probably make it more tolerable.
Definitely.
Perfect.
And potentially remove the suicide stuff.
Yes, of course. So my next question is, circling back to feminism, this game has a female prosecutor, an implied lesbian moment, and an all-female village. Which is your favorite feminist moment and why?
Franziska.
Same.
She is such a great character. And is she the only female prosecutor we've faced? I think she is. Oh no, Garen.
Yeah.
But she's such a great character, and her growth in that game and her personality really shines through and is really spectacular. And I think she's such a well-written female character. They could have reduced her to a stereotype, but instead they gave us an amazing full-fledged character. And I think that's exactly what we should see more of in video games.
Yes, exactly.
What about you?
She's not even that sexualized.
Yeah.
Which I really appreciate.
And she has a whip. She could have been so really sexualized.
Bellboy. And basically Celeste Impacts and Adrian Andrews come in a close second because this was one of the things that stood out to me even in my first playthrough. I was like, okay, I mean, this has to be a story of like unrequited love. Like Adrian Andrews loved Celeste Impact. Celeste Impact was straight. She didn't know Adrian had these feelings for her. That's awesome. I suppose.
That's a good one.
But Franziska has to be it. Like it has to be it. She's just awesome.
She's such a good character.
She's a good character. I hate
this
people.
This is a Francisca Stan channel.
Yes, it is. I was going to say I hate people who say she doesn't have character development, but you interrupted me and I only got to say I hate people, which is also true.
Yes.
She's got a point.
She's the moment. Yes, for sure. You hate people.
I've
seen that firsthand.
And
Aris has a list of people who should die.
That's actually true. I have a list of people.
I mean, not by your hand. You're not a psychopath. You just hate them.
I'm the dude from Death Note.
Oh my god, if that fell into your head, there would be... Jesus. It would be a situation.
Yeah. So, yeah. What's your next question?
My next question is a very short one. Who's the most boring character of the game?
The bellboy.
He's not in the game. Also, the bellboy is not boring.
No,
We've seen his internet.
I just wanted to say the bellboy.
I know you like that coming out of your mouth.
So, who is the most boring? Trillo and Quist.
Okay.
I mean, I know this game came years prior to the cultural reset, which was Robbie and Rex from Victorious, but
very true.
How, like, that's just automatically better.
I mean, Victorious should have won an Oscar. That's for sure.
We all sing.
I think we all sing.
We all sing. What about you?
I'm thinking about Beck from Victorious. I was thinking Maggie Bird.
Maggie Bird is also a good choice. I hate her.
Yeah. Very boring. Just meh. There. And irrelevant. That was my poem about her.
Here's your Nobel for poetry. Nobel Prize. Nobel
Thank you.
Poetry Prize. Have it over the screen.
You. This is really touching.
I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I have this ever-growing hatred for Maggie Bird.
Okay, I can understand that. I can get behind that.
Perfect. So my next question is, choose an area of Faye Manor to renovate and what you spent the most time in.
Me thinking.
I have my answers.
I think the place where they sleep.
Where?
Where Eeny Meeny sleeps.
Yeah.
I think it was a little boring. It was just futon on the floor.
I hate you.
I wanted to see more.
No.
We didn't even see the inside. I wanted to see Maya's room. Why would you renovate?
Absolutely fucking not. I'd definitely renovate that huge room, which is the training room or something.
Where the murder happens?
No, not the channeling chamber. The one before. Like that huge room.
Oh, yeah.
That's so empty and ugly. Like, you could hang some scrolls, like, you trade in paranormal shit. Just hang something from the walls. Even Magatama.
Hand a little ghost. A little skeleton.
But I definitely spend all my time where Eeny Meeny slept. The guest room.
It's so funny. Like, my favorite part was the winding passage.
Winding way.
Yeah. I really liked it.
I was sure you were gonna say it.
There was tons of things. There was a little winding passage. There was a little thing in the back. I liked it.
It was cute, but the room with the sliding doors, you have a little garden outside. Eeny Meeny slept there. There's a chest.
Meeny.
Not a chest, what do you call it? Like the thing you
box?
keep your box, I guess. And yeah.
Okay. You know what? I can get behind that.
Yes.
That room was cute. I did forget about the garden. But you know what's funny is my next question is location themed. Our brains, our minds.
In harmony.
It was like, what's your least favorite location from the game?
It's honestly either Acro or Mo's room.
Acro's room is so shiny. I remember that. And so messy.
They both were disgusting. Like,
yes.
It felt like an apartment complex.
Personal attack.
An apartment complex in a really shady neighborhood with like cockroach nests everywhere. That's Acro and Mo's rooms. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What about you?
It's from Big Top 2. There is this place where I think it's just the most boring location in the world. I think it's just a wall and a bit of like snow, and that's kind of where you talk to What's his fucking name? Ventrillifolliquist? Ventriloquist?
Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking pass out.
Ventriloquist? Ventriloquist, right. It's something like that.
Okay. Oh my god.
And whatever his name is.
His name is Benjamin Woodman.
Okay.
The puppet
I'll call
is
him
named
Woodman.
Triloquist. And his role in the circus is a ventriloquist.
Oh, a ventriloquist. Okay.
Ventriloquist.
I'll call him Woodman for safety issues. But yeah, you made Woodman there. It's just like the most boring location in the world.
I'm not sure.
Do you remember that?
No, I'm not sure I know which one.
I'll try sending you a picture.
No, the one we talked to Trillo is right outside the Big Top.
I'm thinking of something. It's like
I know which one you're talking about.
where the murder happens.
No,
it's disgusting. Yeah, it's gross and it's boring.
It's outside the apartment complex and it's something lounge or something. It's where we talk to Gumshoe and Francisca shows up.
I hate it.
It's the one that has a sign in the like corner. I know which one you're talking about.
I found it. It's where the murder happens.
Yeah.
It's with the chest.
I know.
And I hate that. The colors, it's so boring. Like, this is the murder scene? Really? I hate it.
At a circus, it happens at the stinky apartment complex. Which doesn't make any sense.
Boo-hoo.
Perfect.
That was me booing. Your turn.
So my next question is, choose one case to give to Callisto Yu and one case to give to Christoph Gavin.
Oh.
Why are you smiling?
I think, because it's a good question.
Thank you.
I think it would be so interesting to see kind of morally twisted Christoph Gavin defending morally twisted Malangard and see his decision towards it.
You see, that's my exactly same reasoning for Callisto Yu taking on that case.
Oh, yeah.
Like, both incognito, they hide their true selves, and they're actually completely batshit bonkers, unhinged.
Yeah.
Unhinged with a capital U.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I do agree with that. And I think, but Callisto you would be so interesting with Morgan Fay.
That's also
like Callisto
a great answer.
you. So I think I would give Gavin the last case and Callisto you the case in Coraine.
I'd give Callisto you either Farewell or Turnabout and Reunion because the dynamics would be awesome, I suppose.
It's true.
Like Callisto you and Madengard or Callisto you and Morgan Fay. And I'd
Genius.
send Christoph Gavin to Turnabout Big Top because that's where he belongs as a clown.
Yes. Clown. That's clown shit.
Clown college, clownery, clown tomfoolery, clown. CLOWN, capital C, clown. Okay?
That was such a great poem. It brought tears to my eyes. Are you Ruby Core?
I am. My next book.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Milk and Christoph Gavin is coming out soon.
Okay.
In it, I explain how much of a clown he is, and yeah.
I am so thrilled to read Miss Core. I'm very excited.
Thank you very much, my child. My child.
My child.
What's your next question?
My next question was, after talking about the weaknesses of the game,
the bellboy,
what do you think? I'm gonna murder the bellboy.
No.
Just warning you.
I'd rather you kill me.
Okay, I will.
Perfect. So from the top.
So what are the strengths of the game?
That's a question.
Yes. What do you think are the strengths of the game?
Honestly, I don't hate this game, but its main strength is maintaining the strengths of the first one. Like preserving them and actually being a decent sequel. That's the main strength.
It's a good second game of a trilogy.
Yeah. It does introduce new elements, but those are not its strongest. Like the Magatama only gains its rep after Trials and Tribulations ends.
Yeah.
And some characters and ideas are nice, as we said, but they're not as good as the first and third game. So I think the main thing, like the main strength, is maintaining the strengths of the first one and preserving them and being a decent sequel. Like, it's not a bad game. Yeah. It's like the sequel. It's Phoenix Wright 2.
It's a great build-up to Trials and Tribulation, which is the best game of the whole franchise for me. So yeah, I do agree with that. I think Francisca is also an element that is the strength of the game for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... We've discussed how the case aren't that fun. Francisca is a fun character to play against. Definitely.
Perfect. So, my next question is, choose a character and a location. Pearl or Shoe? The airport or the cafeteria from Big Top?
Pearl or Shoe as in gumshoe?
No, Pearl or Shoe the cat.
Pearl? Of course.
You heinous ass pig. No.
You choose Shoe? I didn't even remember there was a cat named Shoe.
It's Matt and Guard's cat.
Who cares?
I care.
Okay. So your answer is Shoe.
My answer is Shoe.
But you also hate children. So it was...
It's a valid reason.
Okay. And the airport.
The airport as well.
I don't want to be anywhere near Big Top.
But the cafeteria is kind of like Scooby-Doo.
Still had the stink.
Like, when I was...
The stench.
I was like, kind of like over that case, and then we have to go to the cafeteria, and as soon as I enter, I was like, okay, this is like where Scooby and Shaggy go to get a snack, and the monster shows up. Like, this is where it goes down.
I miss Scooby-Doo.
You miss it? Do you want to watch Scooby-Doo after this?
Yes. Oh my god, should we?
Yes.
Definitely. I love Scooby-Doo so much.
Do you want to marry me?
Oh my god, we've already... Every episode there's a Scooby-Doo Discourse.
I proposed to you.
What?
I proposed to you.
You proposed to me what?
I said, do you want to marry me?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Thanks. Let's get hitched.
Sure. Okay.
So
one of the most awkward thing I saw in my life was this in France. They had this show where one guy, like it was this popular talk show, and one of the guys proposed to his girlfriend on stage, and she was like, "Sure." That was her answer. Sure to being proposed. It was so awkward.
What is it in French?
The show. The show.
The Shore.
I think she said, "Je veux bien," which means like, I quite want. Like, it's hard to translate, but like, it's not a literal translation of sure. It's the closest thing.
The bellboy.
The bellboy.
Perfect.
Okay.
What's your question?
My next question, but considering what we've discussed before, I think I know the answer to that. But do you think it works as a standalone game?
No. Wait, you mean...
No.
Like if Phoenix, Wright, Ace Attorney, and Trials and Tribulations didn't exist?
I mean, like, if someone just played this game, do you think it would work without playing the game before and without playing Trials and Tribulation?
Maybe. I don't know. Like if someone played it for the first time without playing anything else, they wouldn't have standards from the other games, so they'd be like, "This is awesome," I suppose. But then again, I don't know. Like we'd really have to play it alone without the memory of the other games for like to answer like a fully accurate answer for this question. What do you think?
I think as the standalone game, it is weaker than a game in this like trilogy and franchise. But I think someone could still enjoy it.
Okay.
That was my answer.
Perfect. So my penultimate question is, Justice for All is our least favorite game from the original trilogy. What if Turnabout and Reunion was replaced with the Stolen Turnabout? Do you think this would help Justice for All or weaken it? And the same goes for Trials and Tribulations.
The Stolen Turnabout.
Yeah. So we'd have Rondelite in the second game, and then...
I think it would weaken it.
It would weaken it.
I think it would weaken it. And I think it would strengthen Trials and Tribulations.
Basically, the question here is that what I'm trying to get at with this question is, do you appreciate that the seeds were sowed in the second game for the third game, or would you like Morgan Fay to be a character in Trials and Tribulations?
I like that it was sowed so long ago, because what made Trials and Tribulations so satisfying to me is that it felt like it tied every single loose string to the trilogy and not only to that game. Okay. So that's what I liked.
Because that's kind of the question. I mean, if Stolen Turnabout was in the second one, then it wouldn't have anything with the main story.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. I have 3 questions left.
3?
Yeah. And I don't even know how.
I thought we answered like the same.
I know. I'm so confused.
Whatever.
I don't know.
I have one more.
Oh shit, I had 13 questions.
Of course.
Okay. Actually, Okay. So my question was, from this game, and excluding people who come from Ace Attorney 1, who would you have sex with, and who disgusts you to your core?
So what's the question?
Who would you have sex with, and who disgusts you to your core?
From this game only?
Yes.
Bellboy and Bellboy.
You are in a toxic relationship with a bellboy.
I sure
He's all you
am.
talk about. He's driving you away from your friends, and I would like to murder him.
We don't have many cuties in this game.
We don't.
We don't.
Also, weak point.
Another weak point, that's true. Oh, if I had to fuck with someone, girl, I'd let Will Powers my ass. And here's your bleeping moment.
Okay. Okay.
He is wearing this tuxedo and he just looks scrumptious in it.
You know what? The question said no one comes from Ace Attorney 1. But since he wears a new tuxedo, I'll allow it because it's a new side to this character.
Fantastic. I'd remove it and his if it's strictly not a returning character.
I mean, it could be Franziska, for instance.
Yes. It would probably actually be Franziska.
Yeah, Franziska. It would be scary, but it would be the ride of a lifetime. I'm surprised you didn't say Inimini.
No, Inimini is not. We're like besties.
Besties, bestie vibes only.
Yeah, and if I have to choose someone who disgusts me to my core,
to your core,
maybe Director Hottie.
Good answer. Roseman.
What about you?
I think for me it had to be Franziska, for obvious reason, which we've stated before. And Mo.
Funny you mentioned that, because my last question is also sex related. And I'm kind of seeing a pattern here. Like, I want to end all my questions with a fuck, marry, kill. And
my last two questions are fuck, marry, kill.
Yes.
We are actually twin sisters, separate at birth, and we share a brain.
Turnabout sisters.
Yes.
I'm Mia and you're Maya.
Of course.
Yes.
That goes without saying.
Perfect. So my last question is fuck, marry, kill. Mo, Richard Wellington, and Director Hottie.
Ah. Gross. First of all. Second of all, gross. This is tough.
It is tough.
I would kill. It's between Wellington, Dr. Hottie, and Mo.
Yeah.
I would kill Dr. Hottie, fuck Mo, and marry Wellington.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but this would all be on like a very not enjoyable experience for me. not a lot of fun.
Okay. My answer.
What about you?
My answer is exactly the same.
We again are twins, and we're connected.
Unfortunately, the choices this time were all crap. There's no Daddy, Von Karma, or anything.
No Damon Gaunt.
No.
What a sad
The
time.
original question was fuck, marry, kill Mo, Richard Wellington, and Matt Engard. But I definitely fuck Matt Engard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
Like, I wouldn't like him, but I would do him.
Yes.
And my last two questions were fuck, marry, kills too.
Perfect.
So what a connection.
Amazing.
And the first one raised an interesting question within me. I was like, oh, villain edition. Acro, Morgan Fay, or Modern Guard? And then I was like, why do I consider Morgan Fay to be the villain of that case where technically it's Eeny Meeny?
Because Eeny Meeny was taking revenge, whereas Morgan Fay
was being a dick.
Yes.
So, fuck, marry, kill, Acro, Morgan Fay, Modern Guard.
Morgan Fay might have been a complete dick, but she won't be getting any from me.
Yes. So brilliant.
I'd see the other two ones are fuckable, but I don't know. I'd kill Morgan Fay. I'd fuck Acro and marry Matt Engard.
Okay.
We could be villains together.
Okay. It would be like a dynamic duo, like Team Rocket.
Yeah, he's kind of a disgusting piece of shit, but I'm a piece of shit.
That's how you like your man.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I see a connection.
Okay, you see a vibe.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking up a strong vibe. What about you?
Yeah, the connection with him. I think I'd kill Morgan Fay. Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
But actually, I think I'd fuck Matt on Guard and marry Acro.
Also,
I think I'd have a better partnership with Acro, and I like his. I think we could grow to like. I think I'd be at peace. Whereas Matt on Guard would be crazy as fuck, and it would be just too unhinged for me. I like my peace.
Gina, you are unhinged. I'm unhinged, darling.
Yes.
So what's your last question?
That's what I think. And my last question was fuck, marry, kill,
bellboy,
Victims Edition.
Or bellboy? I'm sorry.
Are you not embarrassed?
I'm drooling.
No. No, don't drool. So...
Yeah.
Victims Edition. Dr. Turner Gray. What's his name? Roger Barry? Gina's dad?
What was his name?
And Juan Corrida. Something R.
Russell
Berry. Russell Berry, Dr. Gray, and Juan Corrida.
I hate this.
It's hard. It's tougher for victims. We don't have loads of cuties again.
When you marry, the marry option, it includes fucking, right?
Yeah.
But whereas fuck would be a one-time thing.
Yeah.
I'd fuck Dr. Turner Gray, marry Juan Corrida, and sweetie Russell Berry, she's gonna get the boot. She's eliminated. So that's my answer.
It's really hard.
It is hard.
I think out of the three, the least bad is Barry. That I would not like he's a good person. He didn't Juan Corrida kind of pushed someone to suicide, and Turner Gray is an asshole. Well, Barry is just trying to protect his daughter, but I don't want to have sex with him. So
well, not only does Russell Berry look like a character from a British animated show, and you know how I feel about the UK, but also he put down an animal.
Oh, that's true.
And that's...
Oh, that's a very bad thing.
Yeah, for me, that's worse than murder.
Because we've already established that you hate people and you like animals.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I'd kill Russell Berry. Sorry. And I think I'd marry Juan Corrida because he's so hot. He is hot. And I'd have sex with Gray.
Again, twins.
Twins.
There's this game called... It's a Crash Bandicoot game. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
And they paired him up with his arch nemesis, Dr. N.
Ooh.
And it's called Crash Bandicoot Twin Sanity, as in twin and insanity. And that's us, Twin Sanity.
That's us, Twin Sanity.
It's the Twin Sanity podcast, guys.
Yes, perfect.
So, are we done?
Is that a wrap? Yeah, I think.
That's a wrap from Taco Bell.
Oh my god. Yes. Very exciting.
Very exciting. Our questions were pretty good.
I think this was a good episode. I'm not gonna lie. I'm happy with the question. I'm happy with our discussion.
Same.
I think it was a really interesting discussion.
Same. So...
What now?
What now, Lucy? What are you doing next? And also, how much battery does your phone have left?
My phone has 3% battery.
I hate you.
Yay! Yay! It didn't die. Did it die? It didn't. I'm gonna watch Scooby-Doo.
You're gonna watch Scooby-Doo?
I'm going to watch Scooby-Doo. That is my plans for tonight.
That's really nice.
What about you?
What about me? I'm going to dream. Hopefully, I'm gonna have a dream about the thighs of the characters from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They have freakishly big thighs. It's so hot. It's really hot.
Okay. Do you have a thighs fetish?
No, but it's so hot. And also, I was looking at TV shows I watched in the past, and I was for a time I was watching Mr. Robot with Rami Malek. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
And his sister in that show, I completely forgot she existed. She's actually pretty freaking cute.
Oh, good to know.
So I'm gonna channel after this, I'm gonna channel all of my energy and try to have a dream of the thighs from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and the sister from Mr. Robot.
Sweet dreams are made of it.
Yes.
And who am I to disagree? Well, on that note, we'll see you next week, guys.
Have you traveled the world and the 7 seas?
Everybody's looking for something.
Oh, you know I am.
Oh, you are?
I am.
Guys,
I'm looking for thighs.
Yes.
Perfect.
If you're sunbathing, watch out for Aris with his binoculars watching your thighs.
I'll probably be arrested tomorrow after this is published.
Perfect. All right, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you
for another episode of Turnabout Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in.
We love you.
Sure, I guess.
Aris, you need to explain, express your feelings.
Okay, I hate children, and I love you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much
See
for
you
tuning
next
in.
week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Good night.